Welcome to No Match for a Blaster, a Star Wars role-playing podcast. Season 2, Episode 29, Tell Me the Odds. I'm your temporary host and rare hairless Wookiee, Bobby Abney. If you're new here, No Match for a Blaster is an actual play podcast featuring the Morality Plays crew playing the Star Wars role-playing system by Fantasy Flight Games. And now, it's time to thank our Nerf Herder of the Week, Heather Canfield, and our Blaster Head of the Week, Chris Canfield. At this level, our patrons get access to our exclusive Patreon feed to listen to our episodes days early. Plus, Heather will get to name her own NPC on our show. Thank you, patrons. To be our next Blaster Head or Nerf Herder of the Week, be sure to subscribe to us on Patreon at patreon.com/moralityplays. Here at Morality Plays, we're really excited for the new Star Wars Episode 9 trailer. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely go look, and tell us what you think. We'd love to hear your theories on what the title might mean. So, if you have any thoughts on the rise of Skywalker, let us know on Facebook at No Match for a Blaster, or tweet us at morality_plays. And if you're enjoying our story so far, please don't forget to leave us a review on iTunes. So, get your deal-making hats on, because we're returning to the crew of the Atheon as Remi and S4 are leaving the ship to complete their deal with Uoshal. Open. Moff Spozek's intelligence log. After finding weapons and intelligence, which they hope will hold value for the New Republic Defense Force, the crew of the Atheon has returned to Julius Station. Here they will assess their damages, complete their deal with information broker Uoshal Mortoph, and, of course, prepare for the coming battle between the First Order and Doridian Thask. Close intelligence log.
Let's get you into the tank. Let me get you some sedatives, and we'll have you feeling at least physically better in the next few hours.
Fine. How far are we from Julius Station?
Plot amount of time.
You'd still be in the tank for a little while afterward. You'd have to be in the tank right after they landed and everything.
Well, she was probably gonna... Okay, yeah. Hold on. How long is it gonna take? I should still dock the ship before we do that.
Very well. I will be here, and so will the Bacta tank, and so will the sedatives.
Alright.
Unless there's some other work we need done on the ship at the moment.
Oh wait, didn't we take damage in the
ship?
Landing on that place?
I can check. We probably did.
I think we did, yeah.
Well, that'd be something you get fixed when you land.
Yeah, that's probably not something I could do much about in here.
We have 4 dots of hull trauma and 2 system strain. You could fix the system strain.
Yeah, I'll go work on the system strain while you're doing that.
Yeah. So she'll go and, go back to the cockpit for a while. Until she
Remi's sitting in there.
Go land the ship. Remi's still there?
Yeah.
What's Remi doing?
Trying to figure out which lever to pull. No, I'm kidding.
Pressing buttons.
He's sitting in her chair, and she's like,
So I just pressed this button, right?
No. Get out of my chair.
You have ordered 1 extra dark espresso.
Perfect! I knew that was the button.
That's canon now. We have an espresso machine.
No, you have a button that orders an espresso.
From where?
So now there's gonna be a light blinking until you get one installed.
S4M shows up 2 minutes later with a dark espresso and says, apparently somebody ordered this.
So we do have an espresso machine.
He has a name.
Its name is K4M. There's no need to be rude, Camiya. It wasn't asking you personal questions. It just wanted to serve you coffee. Calf, excuse me.
Alright, so, Thetheon zooms forward through hyperspace towards Julia's station. Yeah.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Thetheon pushes through the debris cloud. You guys have navigated this pretty well now. Punched through the debris field, and... Ooh, what's goofing on over here? Discord? Discord's asking weird. Alright. You see the light of the pale blue sun. You go towards Julia's station. You get docking permission. You go in. You land. Landing gear. CO2 cartridges. All that stuff.
I really need to get this fixed. One of these days I'm going to figure out why it keeps expressing this much excess air and bleeding this much gas every time we put the ramp down. But for now, I guess this will have to do.
Oh, we should talk to our mechanic buddies before we leave here again.
Oh, yes, the ones you saved.
Help out, yeah. And then Camiya lets you put her in a back to tank.
All right, there's a diaper and like a ladder against the back to tank, and like a scuba mask. You get in, and S4, you notice that this isn't quite normal. That the edges of the wound fizz a bit, as if it was hydrogen peroxide.
I was going to say, like, you put hydrogen peroxide on it?
Yeah. It fizzes a bit and tingles.
I am not going to wake Camiya up, but I'm going to monitor this in person.
Okay. All right.
Does it look like the wound is damaging the Bacta?
It's force infected?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a force infection.
Well, Bacta is a living organism.
Much worse than a staph infection.
All right. You guys are on Julius. What do you do?
I sit in a back to tank.
I'm monitoring this very interesting condition.
Well, looks like it's all up to Remi.
Remi, shopping episode, go!
Yeah, I was trying to remember why we were here.
So we need to turn the device back into Uoshal. We need to go report to the New Republic that we've got some wealth for them, unless you don't want to give it to them.
Yeah, I guess all that's good things. I guess we could go see Uoshal first. Unless y'all have a better idea.
No, I think we should go to Uoshal first and turn the thing into her. Now that Camiya's in the tank, perhaps we'll hear from her.
Okay. Alright, let's go see Uoshal.
Okay. You could borrow a loader pallet, or you could just have your droids carry it if you wanted.
Well, I mean, she can send people to come pick it up, huh?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Why do we got to carry it to her?
Nah, yeah, you can just go see her and just tell her.
She's got people for that.
All right. Anybody remember how to get to Uoshal's?
Yeah. You go to the guy that sells antique guns.
Uh-huh.
Pay him.
Yeah.
And then he tells you where somebody we already knew was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I want to say she was in between the gray market and the not so gray market, but that may have been the slicer's place.
She's in the gray market.
She's in the gray market.
Go down the road till you get a funky smell. You turn left until you feel like you've gone too far, and then it looks like a pawn shop.
That's right.
That's where it is.
A star pawn shop.
There's a guy yelling about there's the guy selling, I think it was hot dogs or something. I can't remember what it was. But yeah.
Star hot dogs.
You open the door. There's an electronic little thing that makes it sound like a bell ring.
Now I kind of want to replace that with the sound effect from the Mandalorian turbolift. So it goes every time somebody walks in.
You walk in, and you see actually quite a few people. You see about 6 people in the little shopping-ish area, and you see Uoshal behind the counter, and they're all kind of like going back and forth, and there's a holo display behind her. Among them, you actually see Rathiv.
Rathiv, I thought you'd be dead by now.
Hey! You guys are alive. Surprisingly enough, that actually is the standard pirate greeting. I thought you were dead!
Hey, you guys are alive. That's the traditional response. Does he see Jado around?
He's not around.
Oh.
Because I don't want to remember that voice right now. I'll figure that out later.
Where's your droid?
Back of the ship with Jado. Getting ready for the next job.
Still got the kid too, huh?
Yeah! You know, after the 4th time he tried to kill me, I think we were actually having a pretty good rapport.
Good.
He still has the eye patch and everything.
I mean, let's be frank, it did make him look more piratey.
Anyway, we're just coming to let Uoshal know we have something to deliver for her. What are you doing here?
We're I can't speak to that to someone of the Defense Force, but stuff. Big stuff.
All right.
Uoshal will walk around.
Uoshal, good to see you.
What is she doing at the moment?
She was going over some preliminary details of the next big job. This looks like she was gathering a crew for a gig.
Okay. Is she done with her?
It's being paused. Rathiv broke concentration. So yeah, everyone there's like 4 other people, all variety of aliens and levels of ne'er-do-wells, and they're all just like sitting there with their little cups of calf, and they're like, meh, what's happening?
Mm-hmm. He interrupted the meeting.
Yeah.
Captain Drobash, you've returned. Any presents for me?
Yeah, we left them on the ship. I figured you'd send some people by to collect them.
Sure. You didn't do me the pleasure of bringing me presents yourself?
Well, it was a bit more than I could carry.
I believe before, didn't she have like the first time there was a big guy that was standing by the door, and the second time he wasn't there,
it was
right?
a big robot.
She had a droid. She'll kind of look to the droid. Arrange for my parts to be returned to the shop, please.
Boop.
Any trouble?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think you knew that.
Well, there's a reason that no one else could get this before. I'm impressed. It's been quite difficult to breach the defenses on Nalidus.
Yeah. Well, we made it. We all survived. Yeah, anything else, yeah, you got anything else going on at the moment you need some help with?
Ooh.
Couldn't hurt to have, you owe us a favor for once.
Captain Drobash, are you trying to make a deal with me? Again?
Well, so far it's worked pretty well.
I can always find use for you.
You know, if this whole being a good guy thing doesn't work out for you, we might be able to buy information that you're looking for from her too, if the New Republic operatives here can't give it to you.
Very well. Have a seat, Captain. And she'll turn back, go back to the counter where she was, and she'll go and press a button, and the meeting comes back to order.
Yep. A big old display at the top says Galactic Bank Heist.
You wouldn't name it Galactic Bank
It just says
So it is in fact
It
not
says
a
bank
Galactic
heist,
Bank
something
Heist.
different.
That's just the name of the mission to throw people off.
Well, no,
right?
under that it says code name pending.
Yeah.
It's code bank heist.
Operation Withdrawal.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good... Somebody write that down a little bit.
Operation Withdrawal.
So it looks like in the incoming time, they have a few things that are moving the time frame of the heist around a bit. One was getting the igniter from y'all. Yeah, you guys know there's a thing that's called... depends on where you come from, what it's been called. It's either called the Imperial Galactic Bank or the Imperial Bank or the Galactic Bank. But that's what it sounds like. You guys know that there is a centralized bank. It's called the Imperial Galactic Bank, or it's called the Imperial Bank, or just the Galactic Bank, depending on who's in power. It's been around for a little bit. It's still around. It was before the Galactic Empire was really a thing. Yeah. It's mostly located on it's on Coruscant.
Is it run by the banking clans?
It does not say. It looks like they're planning a smash and grab on Coruscant.
But that's Empire money, or like
it's old enough that it's not...
Whose money is it? Like, would I be taking it from my enemies or not?
Well,
that's a good way to put. Would I be taking it from my enemies?
Give me,
such as Carl in accounting.
give me a skill that would essentially be your New Republic knowledge information. So just pick a skill, and then I'll pick that, and then you'll get like 2 blue dice because of your rank in the New Republic Defense Force.
Skullduggery.
Okay.
Or Streetwise.
Okay.
Core
Vigilance. Not really, but what? Are you good with Streetwise? Streetwise? Yeah,
difficulty hard, but you get 2 blue dice.
Ooh, 2 successes and 1 advantage.
So you actually know that...
It definitely belongs to Carl. Which means we're taking it.
During the reign of the Galactic Empire, it actually kind of was mostly the Empire. Because, I mean, they were technically the rulers of the galaxy kind of a thing. And that the place was just teeming with stormtroopers. Now that it's, now that you have the New Republic, it's kind of calmed down. It more operates like a real bank rather than a place of political position and power. But with your understanding of New Public Defense Force intelligence, you know that there's actually a lot of accounts and a lot of money that move through it that actually originate and go towards the First Order. Because that's one of the big things. The First Order didn't peek their head out, but you're getting a lot. Like, you have a lot of information about shell companies and how they operated and how they were able to form a massive fleet like they have now. It was through situations like that.
Slushing the funds and kicking the backs.
Yep. So while it's not all, there's a healthy amount that is.
So, well, that's kind of a little bit of a gray area, but kind of not.
You think that with a little bit of time and effort, you probably could identify certain shell corporations that are specifically First Order and direct the attacks rather than... It looks like they're going to do a full smash and grab, so literally just go in there and take everything that they can.
What was the name of the shipping company?
Surrett's Imports.
I mean, as long as you can... As long as we're only stealing from the First Order Galactic Empire funds... I'm good with it.
This isn't a political maneuver, Captain. This is a business arrangement.
Well, I just don't want to
We take what's worth money.
I just don't want to be stealing from little mom and pops and people who've been saving money. Just getting caught up in it.
If it makes you feel any better, we will be targeting the most useful vaults. I doubt that your average person is going to have much worth taking.
S4, you are there, right?
I thought I stayed on the ship.
Did you? Why would you stay on the ship?
Because I was monitoring the weird bubbling from Camiya's
wound. She'll bubble. It's fine. You should come.
Okay.
Yeah, I did think you came with us too. I'm just saying.
S4, give me a easy warfare.
Yeah, that thing I'm good at. 1 second.
You always say that.
I have four
you're
green
always
dice in
good.
it, so, never mind.
Yeah.
I forgot I'm the smart one.
That's a great phrase.
A success and 2 advantages.
Okay. S4,
I forgot I'm the smart
S4,
one.
you see a...
I'm also the forgetful one.
Delta 8? Was that the number? I always get the number wrong. Delta 7?
Yeah, it's an 8.
You see a Delta 8 prototype on the heads up of their grand scheme plan with the igniter on the prow of it.
S4M still playing the dumb droid, so he's not going to say anything. So it looks like they're going to swoop in a la Ocean's 11 and
get
the old team back together.
They're smashing and grabbing.
Oh, okay.
Like what
Not subtle at all.
Yeah. So it looks like their plan is to jump from hyperspace
directly into the planet's atmosphere,
just barely outside that, because it's really stupid to jump inside the atmosphere of a planet. That's just really dumb. That's real dumb.
That is asking for trouble.
It's just above the atmosphere, but it looks like the Delta 7.
8.
Looks like the Delta 8 actually is going to jump in first. And it looks like it's going to... You see a large object that shows chemical composition behind the Delta 8, and it doesn't quite make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I wish I knew more about what the igniter did.
Yeah.
Do I see any other flaws, like obvious flaws in the plan, with my 2 advantages that I could warn the captain about so he could tell her?
Yeah,
something medical or science oriented that they might not have thought of.
Sure, their math is wrong. They're using like Old Republic. No, the Delta is not. Delta's not Old Republic.
I mean, it's the end of the Old Republic era.
Yeah. Some of their math is wrong. It looks like they're trying to figure out a terminal trajectory for a large object of different composition, and they've just got it a little skewed. And that's not.
I'll run this through my my navigation software several times until I'm sure that it's correct, and then I will data dump it onto Remi's datapad. And ping him on the comm.
Captain, check your data pad. You're about to look very intelligent.
I see. And I kind of look at the data pad and look at what their plans are, and I say, I think you kind of got this section wrong here.
Excuse me?
I think your math is a little off. Look here at these calculations, and compared to yours, I think you're a little bit off.
She'll take it and look over it, and then hand it to somebody who is supposed to be the expert.
Yeah, I was going to say. Math. All right, we'll hand this to the math person.
My equations are never wrong.
Yeah. Check it.
Okay, I wouldn't say this is wrong. This is just another way to interpret the numbers.
There's no other ways to interpret numbers. Isn't that the point?
Okay, so we're trying to bring the asteroid as close to the surface, or as close to atmosphere as possible, right? So, if you were to interpret the numbers their way, maybe we wouldn't have ignited the atmosphere.
I'm trying to decide if she just fires this person.
Out of a cannon?
Huh?
Out of a cannon?
Yeah. I think I'm going to take the data pad and just, like, smack him on the head with it. She's like, you would have ruined the entire mission. Because you didn't check your math.
Remi, if they ignited the atmosphere, they would have killed billions.
Yeah.
S4.
Well, not only that, but yeah, that could have been pretty disastrous for the planet and the people that live there.
On the other hand, it would have been an amazing cover for their bank shop.
People in the group laugh. Oh no, that was you didn't actually.
S4M would not have said
Damn
anything.
It! Sorry.
Oh, I'll send the joke to Remi so Remi can say it.
She'll tell him, get out.
What? No, you can't do this to me. All right.
She looks at him.
You'll never work at the space station again.
Clearly, you can be replaced.
This is not the last you'll hear of me.
Yes, I'm certain. Goodbye.
That's right. I'll be sending you my bill. That's the last you'll hear of me. Sorry.
So yeah, Bobby, the Uoshal has a hollow recorder of a lot of the pertinent details.
Mm-hmm.
Because now she's a whatever alien that was down.
I feel like she's got one person who's just basically, acting almost as a personal assistant at this point. It's basically she's offered you whatever cut that person was going to get. Had no idea you were so good at math. You're a man of many talents, Captain Drobash. She kind of looks from him to the droid and back.
All right, you guys got a mission dossier file. You take a minute to peruse it. Do you give it to your droid also?
I'll say, all right, Uoshal, we've got a couple other things to take care of, but I'll take a look at this when I get a minute. I did heard a couple rumors about Drocker maybe getting involved with something. You heard any rumors about that?
The Drocker clan. What importance does that have to anything? We're in the middle of something.
Well, who knows? If they're being involved in something, it could... Well, I mean, I don't have to tell you about them, but if we pulled it off about the same time...
If you've got nothing important to contribute, you can go.
All right. I just thought perhaps it might be a good distraction if we timed it right. But then again, they'll be on the outer rim, so maybe not.
The Drocker clan don't operate on Coruscant. What use could that be?
Well, no. I was just curious if you had heard anything.
Nothing relevant to the mission.
All right. Well, like I said, we have a couple other things to take care of today. I'll give this a look and get back to you.
If you'll be participating, then you'll need to hear the rest of the briefing. We'll have to update the plan. Your role will be a little different than his, as Bobby doesn't make up a name.
Uoshal doesn't acknowledge that the person.
Names have a price. Yeah.
those Mr. Alien Pink. That's what it was.
Yes.
Sure.
Everyone's code names.
Mr. Starpink. Yeah.
You talk about things that you have to get done. This is on a schedule.
Well, I mean, it's not happening today, is it?
I'll sit and I'll revise the numbers.
Yeah.
While they're talking.
Obviously not. Is there like a particular?
Nope. It's been moving around. There's a lot of different moving factors. So it's like, oh, there's a window in the next 4 days. There's a window in like a week. It's kind of wibbly wobbly. It's not anchored down yet. Getting the igniter was definitely one of the big steps to getting to finalizing a date, but there is not a final date yet.
Okay. So she'll start going through that, and like she'll call on different people who are supposed to be the experts in in the factors that are determining the date.
So this is their plan.
Ask for updates and things.
This is their plan. They're going to take the Delta 7 to this... 8. They're going to take the Delta 8 to this particular asteroid belt.
3, sir. 3.
The Delta's 8 special ability is that it can effectively tow a larger ship in hyperspace behind it. They've determined that they're going to drag a chunk of asteroid with a very large natural magnetic pull behind itself through hyperspace. The igniter will essentially create a friction slipstream behind it. So once it comes out of hyperspace, it's going to come out just above the atmosphere and be a giant molten magnetic blob of metal, which is going to effectively work like a EMP blast for the planet. It's going to screw everything up for a while. If they had done the calculations wrong, there would have been a chunk of molten metal the size of like Rhode Island entering an atmosphere.
It's always Rhode Island.
Always Rhode Island. Right. And then after the Delta jumps back out, then the other ships will jump in and then commence the hit and run, the smash and grab.
So what you're saying is it will be a bad time to be a droid.
Oh my! Well, to be there when it happens, yes. But everyone else is going to jump in afterward.
As if millions of droids suddenly cried out in terror and then were silenced.
They figure that the effect is only going to last for as long as the chunk of asteroid is molten, and it's only going to stay molten for a certain amount of time above atmosphere.
May I comment at this point? I have an entertaining thought S4M might have spotted.
Okay.
So they're calculating on. He's not going to say anything. He'd send this to Remi, but they're calculating all of the damage, the temporary damage. Like sending millions of points of stun damage all around the area, as if strain damage. Excuse me. As if everything had been updated to Empire level technology, but the lower levels of Coruscant have never been updated since the Old Republic, and he knows this, and so he would adjust the calculations for that. They're going to in their old rendition of the plan, had I not corrected their math, they were going to destroy 100 of the ancient towers bases, and they were going to fall over and smash things, and it was going to be worse. But yeah, I think they have not taken into account the fact that I would like to play the Old Republic card again, and it's my best card, and revise their math to warn them that sections of the city may be disturbed for hours, not minutes. Because they have not been upgraded to the point where they have shielding technology against this sort of thing happening and that sort of thing.
So you send it to Remi, or does
I'll send it to Remi.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Remi,
Okay.
You know that a weapon like that would be really useful in the upcoming battle.
Oh yeah, if you could fire an asteroid at say a giant ship. Maybe we can get her to let us borrow or buy it from her or something. More likely buy it from her.
Or you guys just steal it.
Or that.
A job within a job? No.
Double heist.
There you go, Remi.
We heard you liked heists.
because this should still be small potatoes on y'all's plate, considering there's a three-way galactic battle about to happen. There you go. There's why you might be interested still.
All right. Well, for one thing, I don't think you've taken into account they haven't really updated these systems, so this is probably going to knock out some things a lot longer than a couple minutes. In fact, some of this sector of the city might be down for hours.
I'll send you a full list of revised estimates and timetables and changed math.
Yeah, give me a little time to do these calculations, and let's see here. Carry the one.
S4M would roll his eyes if he could, but he didn't. Actually, I could take them out and roll them across the floor, but that doesn't have the same effect.
Move to desk. All right, these are. This is probably a little bit more accurate.
So you're saying we may have quite a bit more time than we anticipated. Perfect.
I mean, I don't know what the response time would be. I'm not seeing that anywhere in here, but I'm just saying these other systems will be down for quite a while. As far as, like, the local, police force, it's just something else to think about.
That has been taken into account.
Yeah, no, she's giving you the information. You can kind of, it's a moving timetable, and if you've kind of taken the position as their
you're the numbers guy now.
Their maths person. So yeah, you could probably give it to S4, and he can start to figure out some computations that'll help figure out a timetable. Right now, all the people they have on the crew or on the heist mission is what's this?
Okay, let me take this and run some of the models and see what I can come up with. I'll get back to you tomorrow. That way we won't be delaying you that much at all, right?
Very well. I'll give you some time to look over the numbers.
All right. Always a pleasure doing business with you.
And you as well. I'll see you soon, Captain.
Tomorrow. And he gives a nod to the other people there and walks out.
Yeah,
bye.
She goes back to doing her thing.
See you, Retief.
I feel like she absolutely, sets a tail on him. He has a lot of information right now.
Yeah, there's already been one. That's fine.
Yeah.
She has people in the loading dock and everything. Yeah.
They're watching.
Well, all right.
You talk to Uoshal. Heist.
You guys go back to the Atheon?
If that's where the captain wants to go. But I believe we also have some other stuff we can sell, or we could go report to the New Republic.
You can leave that in a report. There are people here. There's nothing what you're doing is looking for the weapon system to stop the S-word Lord.
Well, I did want to ask them any information about... I wanted to look up any information about Segura and Drocker.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
So,
You actually have access to their facilities here, so you could totally look that up while you're here. I mean, you're the highest ranking intelligence officer in this sector, so you have access to everything they have.
I guess Segura.
Okay. Segura is smaller. It's a smaller planet than Coruscant, but it is still one of those mostly city planets. It lies not in the core, but pretty close to the core. It long time ago has ran out of all of its normal natural resources and any way to produce anything to keep money flowing into it. So back when S4 probably knew it, it was thriving and teeming and a place of industry and cutting-edge technology. There's a lot of industry structure, but it's not producing anything anymore. So the people that still live there, everything is imported. Everything costs a ton, and there's just not a lot of jobs. It's pretty rough and tumble, Even the crime syndicates don't really mess with it too much because there's nothing to gain, you know? Back whenever, galactic slave trading was a thing, there was a bit of an industry there, but that's not the case right now.
So there's still infrastructure for manufacturing, but there is no manufacturing.
Yeah, I mean, there's no raw resources here. So, like, if you imported everything, yeah, there's a lot of industry bones. There's a lot of bones there for it, There's a lot of factories and stuff. But
that might not be the worst place. If S4M could suggest to the captain, that may not be the worst place to have the New Republic import and have things built. Since nobody really is messing with it, it would create a supply line that would be harder to spot, at least for a little while. Might be something worth reporting to the New Republic. You are an intelligence operative, after all.
Then you get to the thing that is New Republic intel. There is a substantial presence of First Order on the planet. I'll just say, you guys head back to the boat. Yeah, and from there you guys can kind of decide where you're going to go. S4, you have a lot of agency over how that plan proceeds. You guys have, I think, about a week until the conflict is supposed to happen, the 3-way conflict.
Am I still in Bacta?
I mean, I'll take you out when we come back.
Oh, it's fizzing actually a good bit, but yeah, you can get out.
Take samples of the Bacta and try to figure out why it was fizzing, but I'll store that away for later.
Okay.
We've got other things to talk about.
How do I feel coming out of the Bacta? Am I like super groggy?
No, you feel pretty spry.
S4M will help you out of the tank and give you your clothes back.
Thanks for listening. To make sure you don't miss any big updates, follow us on Facebook at No Match for a Blaster, or on Twitter at morality_plays. If you enjoyed our show, please leave us a review on iTunes and visit our Patreon at patreon.com/moralityplays. No Match for a Blaster is a podcast by Morality Plays. Star Wars, Edge of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, and Force and Destiny are made by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Our theme is by Kevin MacLeod. Sound effects by Tristan Logren, Vedis, and Akimov. I would like to thank our awesome GM, Ito, as well as the other players, Brandon, playing Remi Drobash, and Gerald, playing S4M-3L. And of course, I'd like to thank you, our listeners. We'll see you again soon, in a galaxy far, far away.